What's going on, sports card collectors? It's Monday. We're going to get the dual camera going. I don't use it that often. You get to see my face a little bit, although it is hot today. And I'm even in the basement of my office and I'm starting to sweat. What I want to do is go over the NBA season a little bit, and I wanted to give you my top 3 picks for comeback player of the year. Might be a surprise pick for one of them there. The other 2 might be some obvious ones, but there's a lot of injuries out there. A lot of players coming back from injury for the NBA season. Some are significant. Some of them were significant when the injuries happened, like in the bubble for some of the teams and this past year. So before I get started, though, I just thought, you know what? Let's give you a mail day. Haven't been doing a lot of trying to grab a card here. Haven't done a lot of buying lately as far as individual cards, but I did pick up this off eBay. So here's my Kevin Durant Fleer Retro rookie card. So we'll it looks pretty good. But anyway, so that's my one mail day card to share with you. I'll put it up here. And if you haven't followed us already, go ahead and click the subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It definitely helps us out. Hit us up on Instagram. And also we have our eBay store listed. I'll put it down below also in the settings. But what I want to do is, my little tablet comes back on here, is let's talk about the injuries. The NBA here. I'm going to bring this up in here. See if I get some of the glare off. Matter of fact, maybe we'll just zoom this in. Well, let me zoom in. I think I can zoom it in. Maybe not. All right, that's fine. We'll bring it up closer. So anyways, injuries. There were some significant injuries and a bunch of players that haven't been in during the season lately. And, we're talking about the Nets with Ben Simmons after he got traded from the Sixers. Joe Harris missed out the whole season. Lonzo Ball was out. Some say that he won't even come back to anywhere as close to what he was. We'll see on that. Tim Hardaway Jr. was significant for the Dallas Mavericks. I have a cheat sheet here because I'm going to forget somebody. And then we had Kawhi Leonard, who's been out, seems like forever now with the Clippers and is still out. There's no restrictions, it sounds like, but it doesn't say that he's cleared to play either. What about Chris Middleton for the Bucks? That was significant in the playoffs with him out for his injury. You got Damian Lillard that had the stomach surgery there. He's out. You got Bradley Beal that went out injured. You have, who else do we have here on my list? Oh, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. That was a significant one. If he hadn't gotten injured in the bubble, I think the Denver Nuggets probably would have won it that year. That's just my opinion, and I am a Lakers fan. So, and then we also have James Wiseman, who we saw come back during Summer League. Looks strong. Looks like he's packed on some muscle. You have Anthony Davis that ended up getting hurt off and on the whole season. Kendrick Nunn, who went to the Lakers but never played. And then Zion Williamson was a significant. And I'm sure I've missed some, but to me those were just some big names that stick out. That were injured and looking to come back this season that can make significant differences on their teams. So who am I thinking for this league? I mean, I'm excited as a Lakers fan. I'm excited that we have some younger players, but I really wish we would do another trade and get rid of Westbrook, if I can talk here. I was never on the Zion Williamson bandwagon. I admit he's a talented player, but the weight concerned me when he came out of college, went to the NBA. Seeing what he's done, and now they got that weight clause. I'm actually pretty big on Zion. We'll talk about that later. And, James Wiseman, like I said, looks really good. Damian Lillard, I've always been a fan of. So who are my picks? This doesn't have to be a long video, but you know what? It's a Monday. It's hot outside for Central New York. We've had this heat advisory these last few days. It's supposed to end tonight. Then we're in the 70s. I don't mind the heat. I just don't like sweating when I'm not doing anything. But my picks. So I've listed all those names, and maybe you can see this, maybe you can't see this, but my first pick is Jamal Murray. He was averaging 21 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 4.8 assists per game. And if you remember, they were down in the bubble, and he just like, if I got to pack my bags, I got to pack my bags, but we're not ready to pack them yet. And they came from behind, and, they pulled it off. He got the injury. And like I said, I think that if he had not got injured, I think the Denver Nuggets would have won the playoffs, the championship game that year. And that's just my personal opinion. But he is by far missed. He's a talent. I hope he can come back and recoup what he was at the level he was playing at eventually once he gets in that basket conditioning shape, and help with Jokic and the rest of the team there, and Michael Porter Jr. coming back after having surgery again. That'll be significant if he can start progressing, because he's obviously a true talent. If we can just get past these nagging injuries, I think he'll be here for a long time to come. That's my number one pick. My number two pick is probably an obvious one, but like I said, I was not on his bandwagon, especially because of his weight coming out of college. He really hasn't played much, but when he did play, boy, does he have some highlights. His block shots, his shooting is a three, obviously his dunks, but he was averaging in 2020 27 points per game, 7 rebounds, and almost 4 assists a game. That's not bad for a youngster coming out of college playing 1 year. With the bigger, stronger, faster method going on now with these guys and their sizes, and him able to compete and stay in there. If he comes back, and I really believe that if he's dropped the weight and it looks like some of the pictures he has, and he can stay conditioned, he's going to be a dominant, and he is actually very key to being comeback player of the year. Not six-man player, because I think he's a starter. Same with Jamal Murray. This is comeback player of the year from coming off of injuries. All right, so I've got Jamal Murray is my number one. Zion Williamson is my number two. To top it off and round it up is going to be Kendrick Nunn. Why? It isn't just because he's on the Lakers now, but the guy has actually, let's see if I can pull it up here. I thought I had his stats on there. Let's go. So he was averaging 15 points a game, if you guys remember, if you watched the Miami Heat, 2.5 rebounds and 3.3 assists as a rookie. Okay, nonetheless, it was a rookie averaging 15 points a game, and I just thought I'd pull this up because I think this was huge. This is Kendrick Nunn. He's got basketball handles. He can pass, he can shoot, and he can jump. So we'll just watch a quick highlight of Kendrick Nunn, because that's my number one comeback player of the year. And if he's healthy and cleared, I think he'll be significant with the Lakers.
Picks up the steal. For the third Toronto turnover. Hero backs it up. And hits. 7 on the shot clock for Nunn. Down to 4.
And we'll watch just a few more seconds.
He's hobbling on the sideline. Nunn's turnaround is good. Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn gets the screen from Bam. Zigzags to the free throw line and below.
And one. So I think you got the point of what I was talking about there. Kendrick Nunn is my number one top pick. He's number 3 option that I'm doing now, but he's my top pick for comeback player of the year, along with Jamal Murray and Zion Williamson. But Kendrick Nunn, like I said, was a rookie. He was highly touted coming into, touted, is that a word? But highly coveted coming into the NBA with the draft. Matter of fact, I think I bought a ton of his cards, rookie cards. Everybody was buying his rookie cards. Of course, that was a hot year anyways with Zion and Ja Morant. But buying Kendrick Nunn, and then he had this injury. He finally went to the Lakers. I was all excited. I didn't realize that a bone bruise was going to take that long and be out the whole season. But the talent that he has, and to play alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, if that's what the team looks like, I'm still up in the air of this. If we're going to do a trade, let's hurry up and do one already. Driving me nuts seeing these different scenarios anyhow. And then some of these trade scenarios they're talking about with the Lakers, I don't even want to see these guys come. But anyways, back to Kendrick Nunn. He's young, he's energetic, he's explosive, he can jump, he's got some height, he can shoot, he can pass, and I think that if we can get him healthy and out there in the court, I think he'll be a great complementation. Man, I can't even talk today. It'll complement LeBron and Anthony Davis and relieve LeBron having to bring the ball up the court. So I'm going to repeat it again. Kendrick Nunn is my surprise player for probably a lot of you that are watching this. Zion Williamson, not so much a surprise, but he's my comeback player of the year option. And then Jamal Murray is my other comeback player of the option. I could easily pick anybody else off these lists. I mean, honestly, I think the comeback surprise player of the year would go to Ben Simmons if he plays, because That whole situation's a mess. James Wiseman, I don't know as if he'd be comeback player of the year. I mean, with you got Looney that's got the starting job, it's his to lose. There's so much talent on that Warriors team. I just think that Wiseman's just going to be a complementary piece there. Unless he goes and gets traded somewhere else where he gets to establish his role as a center, I don't really see him as a comeback player. Kawhi Leonard, maybe, but with Paul George there and the rest of the supporting cast they have, again, that's not necessarily. Middleton could be huge. Lillard could be huge. Bradley Beal with his dedication with the Wizards is huge. Lonzo Ball, I don't see that happening. Joe Harris, I don't see that happening. Tim Hardaway Jr. could be significant now with Jalen Brunson gone to helping out Doncic, but we'll see on that. So, guys, I appreciate you taking the time. It's not a long video. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. We do giveaways once in a while. I'm sure in a couple of weeks I'll probably end up doing another giveaway. Give me your feedback. What do you think? Do you have 3 picks that you think might be comeback player of the year? What do you think of the 3 picks that I did? And we'll move on from there. Probably the next video we'll have will be another NBA box break. I'm not sure yet what, but we'll figure something out. It might be 2021 select, or maybe we'll go 1920 mosaic. I think I got a mega in there or something that we could do and make it interesting. So, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hit the like button, and as always, stay safe. We'll see you next time.